Hi everybody, welcome to the 16th video of the distance learning program. I'm happy to be here today and I hope you and your families are happy, healthy, and safe. Today we're going to be working in the Ventures3 book on page 56. Page 56. So if you could turn to the Units 3 and 4 review on page 56 in the Ventures3 book, we're going to start with the grammar lesson. But before I start that, I'd like to do a little bit of a warm-up about the grammar that we've been studying so far. I'm going to ask some questions, and you can see if you can answer these using the correct grammar. The first question is, have you exercised recently? Have you exercised recently? So you would first want to think about what is the verb tense that I'm using. Have you exercised? Well, that verb tense is present perfect. So you would want to answer with a short answer using the present perfect verb tense. So you could say, yes, I have, or no, I haven't. You usually want to answer the question using the same verb tense as the question poses, okay? So use the same verb tense that's in the question. Another one, here is another question. It says, have you spoken English outside of class lately? Have you spoken English outside of class lately? So that also is in the present perfect. And if you did answer that affirmatively, you would say, yes, I have. And if you answered negatively, you would say, no, I haven't. Here's another question. Did you used to exercise more? Did you used to exercise more? Now that's in the past. So you would say, yes, I did, or no, I didn't. Notice that in the question I asked, did you used to exercise more? And you would say, yes, I did, or no, I didn't. Then it says, did you used to study English in your country? Remember, did indicates the past. So if you studied English in your home country, you would say, yes, I did. If you didn't study English there, you would say, no, I didn't. Here's another question. Why did you come to this country? Why? Now that means you need to give a reason. So you could use a because of clause, or you could use a because with a noun phrase, okay? So you could say, you came to this country because, you could say, because I wanted to have more opportunities for a better life. Or you could use a because of phrase, you could say, because of my children. Then it says, why are you studying English? Why are you studying English? You could say, because I want to help my children learn in school. Because I want to help my children learn in school. Next, what are you too old to do? What are you too old to do? So you would have to think about an action that you're too old to do. You could say, I'm too old to go skiing, or I'm too old to jump out of an airplane with a parachute. And it says, what are you old enough to do? What are you old enough to do? You could say, I'm old enough to vote. I'm old enough to vote. All right, so now, if you'll turn to page 56, I'm going to read a happy ending, the paragraph in this green box, and I'm going to fill in the answers that are correct. Remember, you need to choose one of the answers that are below the blank. So in the first example, it says, last year, Frank went to his doctor. Now you could either choose because or because of his health. Well, You can't use because that would indicate that you have a clause, and that needs a subject and a verb following it. But when there's only a noun that follows, you don't use a because by itself. You have to say because of. So the book fills in the answer because of his health. That's a because of plus a noun clause. Phrase. Remember, a clause is something that can stand alone as a sentence. But you would not be able to say because of his health as a sentence. So that's called a phrase. Next, his doctor told him that his blood pressure was, would you say, enough high or too high? The answer would be too high. That means beyond the reasonable amount. Frank got very nervous because he didn't blank have health problems. And remember, with the negative, you don't put the D on use, and it would just be USE to, used to. He didn't used to have problems, okay? Next, Frank blank to get in shape lately. Well, that means we need the present perfect, so it would be has started. Frank has started to get in shape lately. Then, he blank take the elevator at work. Well, that's an affirmative statement, so we need to put a D on used to. So it's the second one, used to, USED to. But now he takes the stairs. He blank a lot more energy lately. Again, we need the present perfect, so it would be he has had a lot more energy lately. What tells you that you need the present perfect is the word lately, because lately means in the past. So you couldn't use the first word has because that would be present. Next, the hardest thing he blank recently is his favorite food, ice cream. And recently tells you again that it's in the recent past or just a short time ago. And so you would use the present perfect, has given up. The hardest thing he has given up recently is his favorite food, ice cream. Next, part B says, look at the answers, write the questions. So in the first one, it says, yes, he has. Frank has started to get in shape. So you need to think of a question that would give that answer. And the question would be, has Frank started to get in shape lately? Number 2 says, yes, he did. Frank went to the doctor last year because of his health. So you would need to ask a question that would give that answer. So since the answer says, yes, he did, you would start the question with did. Did Frank go to the doctor last year? Then finally, number 3 says, yes, he did. Frank used to take the elevator at work. So again, you start the question with did. Since the answer says, yes, he did, you would say, did Frank? And then you would say, used to take the elevator to work. Did Frank used to take the elevator to work? And since it's a question, you would not put a D on use. Now let's turn to page 57, the pronunciation part of this lesson. I'm going to talk about the 2 ways that you can pronounce the TH sound. One is called the voiced method, and the other one is voiceless. There are 2 ways to pronounce TH, voiced TH, as in the word this, and voiceless TH, as in the word month. The position of the tongue for both sounds is between and touching the top of the front teeth. So the tongue is between the teeth on the bottom and the teeth on the top, but you're touching the teeth on the top. But the voice sound when you use the voiced sound, as in the word this, air passes over the tongue between the teeth, okay? So you say this. Now, listen to me as I pronounce the voiced and the voiceless TH sounds in Lesson 3A. This morning, sore throat. That's too bad. Health problems. The neighbors. South Street. Notice that when the TH is at the end of the word, at least in most words, you don't push as much air out of your mouth as you do when it's at the beginning. Like number 7, they are. Number 8, this month. So the voiceless seems like it sounds a little softer. When it's at the end of the word, it sounds softer than it does at the beginning. Ask them 3 times. How are things? And finally, number 12 says, thanks. All right, for part B, you want to underline the words with the voiced and the voiceless TH sounds. Part 1A, it says, where's Tommy this morning? And the word that you would underline is this. So I'm going to read each line and tell you the words that should be underlined. He's sick. He has a sore throat. Underline throat. That's too bad. That should be underlined. He often has health problems. Health. I'm sorry to hear that. That. The neighbors on South Street are really noisy. The and South. Yes, they are. They. This month, I've asked them 3 times to be quiet. This month, them, and 3. Let's write them a letter. Them. That's a good idea. That's. All right, now let's go to part C. It says, talk with a partner, practice the conversations. Pay attention to the words with the TH sounds. What can your friends do to be more healthy? What can your friends do to be more healthy? Well, they can exercise more this month. That's a good idea. And they can eat healthy meals 3 times a day. So what are the TH words? Healthy, they, month, that's, they, 3. Oh, I skipped healthy too. There's healthy. All right, number 2. How are things? Not great. I have 3 tests this week. Oh, I think you'll do fine. Thanks. And you can underline the words with TH in them. Finally, part D says write 4 questions. Use the words in exercise 3A. And here's an example. Have you eaten this morning? So you can fill in questions for 1 through 4 individually. All right, now that we've finished the review for Units 3 and 4 from the Ventures3 book, I'd like to move on to pronunciation using the Oxford Picture Dictionary, and this lesson will begin on page 66. So please turn to page 66 in the Oxford Picture Dictionary and follow along as I read the words, and you can pronounce them after me. First, Back to the market. Back to the market. Fish. Meat. Chicken. Excuse me. Cheese. Milk. Butter. Eggs. Vegetables. Listen and point. Take turns. Point to the vegetables. Point to the bread. Point to the fruit. Pair dictation. A says, write vegetables. Person B says, please spell vegetables for me. And when someone says, please spell something for them, that means you say each letter in the word. So person A says, VEGETABLES. Fruit. Rice. Bread. Pasta. Grocery bag. Shopping list. Coupons. And some say coupons. Ways to talk about food. Do we need eggs? Do we have any pasta? We have some vegetables, but we need fruit. Role play. Talk about your shopping list. Do we need eggs? No, we have some. Do we have any? And then 3 dots. That means, that's called an ellipsis. It means you can fill in the blank. All right. Now, let's look up here in this green box. Here are things from the shopping list. It shows milk, bread, lettuce, and grapes. Look on the table. What are some of the items that you see on the table? Here is a box of rice. It says Uncle Ted's. This is what you make spaghetti with. So this is pasta, spaghetti noodles. And of course, everybody knows bread. Then finally, if you look down here, you can see what coupons are. Or some people say coupons. These give you a discount at the store. You can sometimes cut them out of the newspaper or magazines, and you can take them to the store and you can save $1. This first says that you can save $1 if you buy 2 cans of this kind of soup. Okay? But you have to buy the kind that's shown in the coupon. You can't buy a different kind at most stores. And here, granola cereal, you can get 50 cents off, but it says any cereal. So any cereal that the manufacturer makes, you can get 50 cents off a box. So I hope this has been a helpful lesson for you today, and I look forward to seeing you again next time. Thank you very much for watching, and see you soon.